Morning after reset. The only time most people get to see this rare. The Voidtalon of the Dark Star, Watchman of the Twilight Realm. Very few have had the privilege to witness it in its purple magnificence. And here we are. But I wonder what it's like to get a bit closer. Let's go, shall we? Oh, absolutely marvellous. But seeing as we just killed this one, let's go look for another one, shall we? Jolly good.
Yeah, enough messing around, let's get to it. Hello and welcome to your Over-Enthusiastic Game Guide. I'm SerroDan, and this guide is going to focus on all the locations the Edge of Reality opens at. Seeing as we've wasted enough time as it is, let's blast through it. Yeah, you get it. So to Shadowmoon Valley. Now in Shadowmoon Valley there are 7 discovered spawn points, and they're all pretty close to each other down south. So if you're ever going to camp for this portal, this may be the ideal place to be at, seeing as there's so many in the same sort of area. And now that we can fly, it won't even take 30 seconds to scout all points there. Bonus. When looking for this portal, we are going to have to use our void spotting eyes to be able to know when this is up. Mainly because it's not an NPC, so we cannot target it, and the fact that it cannot be picked up by NPC scan. But watching this video, you should hopefully get a better understanding of where the portal will spawn at its discovered locations. However, if you still want to see a portal firsthand, or an object that uses the same idea as the Edge of Reality, you'll be able to find a bunch of them just outside the Black Temple raid in Outlands. Except these are 3 times bigger than what the Edge of Reality really is. Oh, so don't try clicking them. You'll only be hit with a portal of disappointment. To our next zone, to the Spires of Arak. In Spires of Arak there are 4 discovered locations where the portal can spawn at. These 4 are a little more spread out, so it would take a little bit longer to search around for them. But hey, we can fly! Woohoo! So if a portal was up round there, you should, if you're lucky, find it. When this portal spawns, it will not last forever. The portal would dissolve back into nothingness, if unclaimed, ready to spawn again somewhere else. The portal is generally up for a period between 3 to 10 minutes, and if it does despawn, it will open up again exactly 60 minutes later at another point, or, if you're very lucky, the same point which you left yourself crying at when you missed it the first time round. And then to Talador. There are 5 spawn points in Talador. Again, these are spread out, but if you notice, these points are all surrounding level 100 areas, and this is exactly the same in all other zones. And while there are only 5 discovered spawn points here in Talador, there could be plenty more to find. You just gotta keep your eyes open. Now there is a view distance of this object, and it's just like any other object in game. It has a longer range than most NPCs, but not as long as environmental objects like trees and buildings as such. The view range of this portal is around about 400 yards, so there's quite a bit of a distance to play with. That is, of course, there are no mountains blocking your view. Now Talador is where I got my mount from, and I was not on my main character when I got it. Instead, I was on an altar mine. And this ult was not level 100, so if you're panicking, running around in little circles right by the portal at maybe level 90, thinking whether I should click it or whether I should not click it, why not? Go on, click it. Go on, you know you want to. Hey, you could even click it as low as level 40. So why not? Go on, you know you want to. It's not peer pressure. Let's take a trip to Nagrand, shall we? Here there are 4 spawn points, and once again quite far apart. With all these spawn points being so far apart, you must be wondering, how on earth am I supposed to actually get this so-called portal that supposedly exists? Well, believe it or not, we do know one point during the week when it actually does spawn, and this is instantly after the weekly reset. But in regards to its location, that's unpredictable, and all down to luck. World of Warcraft luck. Everybody loves that kind of luck. So when doing the reset tactic, position several of your ults at different locations where the portal can spawn, and keep logging them to check different locations. Now this portal is not a once a week occurrence, so don't lose hope, keep battling through the mind-numbing pain. Everyone's time comes eventually, even if it's hard to believe. Once the portal has been snapped up, it won't spawn again in an hour's time like it would do if it was missed. Instead, it will spawn at any time between 12 to 48 hours after, at any random location. But don't let that put you off. Keep going. You can do this. Grab your hat, grab your scarf, off to Frostfire Ridge. Here in this snowy location there are 5 points it could spawn at. But because it's snowy and the texture of the portal is quite light, it may be quite easy to pass your eye over it. But there are 2 ways of preventing this. The first way is to change your graphic settings and make sure that your texture resolution is better than low. That way it will make the portal a lot thicker for the eye to see, and waking up early for that server reset, you may need that. Well, if your eyes are not up to scratch, maybe perhaps your ears are. Therefore, we're going to need a nice, loud, alerting sound that when it goes off will have us get a new mount and a new pair of underwear. So, to do this, we're going to use a macro. The macro is in the description. When copying it over, do make sure the macro is exactly the same, because YouTube does like to hyphenate things for some odd reason. Now, this macro, upon clicking, will do nothing. Or so it seems. What it actually is doing is checking your tooltips for certain pieces of text, and this certain piece of text is Edge of Reality. So when our mouse goes over said portal, we'll be jumping out of our skin. We only need to press this macro once, and once it has found it for the first time, it will no longer play the sound to it the second time. It really saves you money on your washing up bill. And to Gorgrond. Here we are at our last zone the portal can be found, and there are 5 points it can open up at. As it stands at the moment, Draenor is not a cross-realm zone yet, so this means each realm will have its own portal. So if the portal does not open in your realm at your select location, try server hopping to another realm and see if it is up there. But if the group you've hopped to is set to a raid group, you will not be allowed to enter the scenario. But don't let that stop you from clicking it. Oh no. You will still get the mount, but it will come to you via the mail up to an hour after interacting with it. It's not as thrilling as actually entering the scenario, but at that moment you totally lose control and couldn't really care less. However, if you are in a party, you will be able to enter it. Only you though. Once get to the portal, you will no longer be able to see it. Well, you will no longer be able to see it on the same character you got the portal on. You can, however, see it on your other characters. So if you wanted to help a friend out, I would suggest using a character you didn't interact with the portal on. And that pretty much sums it up for all known locations where the Edge of Reality opens up at to this date. So, thank you all for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and be sure to tell us how you got your mount. But for now, take care.